it's Jay the Nerd here. Make sure you hit the subscribe button down below to get all the nerdy content you'll ever need every Wednesday and Saturday. Now, normally this Saturday video would be my ReZero review, but it's the end of the month and it means it's time for my monthly favorites. So next week I will be doing 2 episodes in 1 review video. But yeah, today I'm going to be doing my monthly favorites, which is probably my favorite video that I do. And first, as always, I'm going to be talking about anime. Now, Attack on Titan and ReZero are technically my favorite anime that I'm watching this anime season, but I'm doing weekly videos about them every single week, so I'm not going to bore you all by talking about it more in this video. So instead, I'm going to talk about some other favorites of ones that I'm watching this season. The first being Horimiya, which is about this girl named Hori and this boy named Morimiya. And Hori is this super popular girl, and Morimiya is this really quiet, shy, kind of nerdy guy. And they run into each other when Morimiya is helping Hori's lost brother. And they discover that at home, Hori is this kind of like chill, relaxed mother figure to her younger brother, and that Morimiya in real life is a like guy with tons of piercings and tattoos and has his hair like in a half up kind of thing, and he looks good. And so they kind of realize that their school personas are kind of not the real them. And funny enough, Morimiya is labeled as a nerd even though he does really badly in school, and people just kind of assume that he's a nerd and he's not really. And so they kind of bond over seeing each other's like other side to themselves, and he kind of helps take care of her little brother, and it's really freaking cute, and I can't wait to see what happens in it. The next one is Other Side Picnic, which is about these 2 girls who find themselves in another world with these like glitchy, creepy monsters. And it's a yuri, so you know, girls love, yay, love that genre. There's not enough of it. And so it's really cute, it's gay, has science fiction in it. I highly recommend it. And then the final one that I'm going to be talking about is The Promised Neverland Season 2. I've talked about The Promised Neverland in a previous review video, but basically it is about these kids who, spoilers for Promised Neverland, it's about these kids who find out that the orphanage they live in is actually a human farm where they are being farmed to be eaten by these demon alien creatures, and that has been the world for a long time. And the first season is all about their escape, and the second season is all about them trying to find other humans in this world and see if they can end this crazy system that they're a part of. And the second season is really good. It's really building on the lore. The first season is just an escape mission, so you really don't get to know the true lore of the world, but because they're outside of the camp now, outside of the manipulation, they can really start to figure out what the world is really like and the lore behind it, which I won't spoil, but it's really good. Okay, so that's it for anime, and next I'm going to be talking about video games. I played 2 amazing video games this month. The first being 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim, which you play as these 13 different characters who all pilot these fighting robots called Sentinels, and they're fighting kaiju, which are these giant monsters. And you get to go through each character's story and also do the Sentinel versus kaiju battles that are really fun. It's turn-based strategy, which I like. And every single character is so good, and that's just a testament to how great the writing of this game is, that they made all 13 characters lovable and great, and characters that you just get so attached to. Not to mention that the art style is gorgeous. If you've played the game or seen the game Broken Age, the art style is very familiar, and it's a game made by Atlas and Vanillaware, Atlas being the place that made the Persona games, which you know I love Persona 5. So I knew I was probably going to love this game, and I finally gave it a chance, and it definitely deserves deserves so much more attention than it got. I don't know how it flew under the radar so much, but it's a damn shame because it's incredible. It's one of my favorite games of all time now, and I highly suggest you play it. And then the next one is the Final Fantasy VII Remake. I know I'm like 8 months late on this, but I never really got into the Final Fantasy franchise. It just seemed like out of my depth, I guess, a little bit. Like there's so much history behind it that I was kind of like afraid to jump in. But then I was bored one evening and decided to finally watch Geek Remix's Let's Play of the game, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. I need to try this for myself, and I got hooked, and now I'm even going to play the original Final Fantasy VII. I want to play some other Final Fantasy games. I'm starting to really get into the series, and the Final Fantasy VII Remake has now become another one of my favorite games of all time, and I'm sure that the original will be the same. Honestly, I wanted to play the original because I wanted to know the whole story, because the remake is only part one of many parts. So I don't know the full story yet, and I really want to know what happens to my babies. So I am playing the original right now, and I'm really liking it. And so that's it for games. And next and finally, I'm going to be talking about movies. Now, I've been trying to make an effort to watch a lot of classic anime movies that I hadn't seen before. I'm not a huge movie person, so it kind of takes a lot of effort to push myself to watch movies. But anime movies, I really, really do enjoy. And so I finally watched 2 classic ones, finally. And those 2 are Summer Wars and Perfect Blue. First, I will talk about Perfect Blue because that's the one that I watched first. And Perfect Blue is a movie from the 90s, if I remember correctly. I think, mid-90s. And it's by Satoshi Kon, who makes trippy-ass anime movies. And I've heard a lot of people talk about it, and I finally took the leap, and it is a horror thriller anime movie. And even though like the animation is from the 90s, so it's not as clear now, it's still freaking scary and creepy as hell. And it's basically about this girl who is a pop idol turned actress who has a stalker that is doing horrifying things to her and the people around her. And it's a lot more convoluted and crazier than that, but I'm obviously not going to spoil anything because one of the best parts of a thriller / horror are the twists, and there are a lot of twists in this. And I think it is great, and I think it's really dumb that there are people on my anime list who are watching the movie now and giving bad ratings to the animation. I'm like, do you not realize this movie was made in the 90s before the animation was how it is now? Like, judging 90s animation from a 2021 lens is really dumb. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But I really loved the movie, and I highly, highly suggest it. And then the next one I watched is Summer Wars, which is a Mamoru Hosoda movie, and I love his movies. I think I've talked about a previous one in these videos before, which is The Girl Who Left Through Time. I was really excited to try Summer Wars. Funny enough, I put it off for a very long time because the cover was always like this cartoon rabbit character, and I was like, I don't really feel like watching a talking animal movie. If I had known that that was a misleading cover, I would have watched it a long time ago, but that's not what it's about at all. It is about this boy named Kenji who gets asked by his crush Natsuki to pretend to be her boyfriend for the weekend while she goes to visit family for her great-grandma's birthday. And hijinks ensue that include an AI taking over an internet space. And that's all I'm going to say about it. But it is so good, and I loved every minute of it, and it was really, really enjoyable, and I highly suggest you watch it. The English dub is just as good as the Japanese. It's really, really good, and I highly suggest you watch it. That's all I have for today, and I will see you on Wednesday for my next Attack on Titan video, and then on Saturday, where I will be bringing back the ReZero episode reviews. Bye!